I'm gonna make you an offer you can't refuse. You're talking to me?
Hey, hello, where's the picture?
Just a second. Sorry.
Hello? Now I don't hear anything. Where's the sound?
Rats. Sorry. I'll be right there.
Nothing to see or nothing to hear. Do you want that kind of film? A film is only complete when people who are hearing and visually impaired can follow the plot and enjoy the film with everyone else. How to make a film that everyone can experience. First, with audio description. Second, with extended subtitles or SDH. Subtitles for the deaf and hard of hearing. Together, they make up the accessible version. Audio description makes what's visible audible for blind and visually impaired film fans. Key plot elements are described during dialogue breaks. Who's doing what, where, how, and with whom. All visual impressions that are relevant for understanding a film and the aesthetic experience are translated into speech. Locations, the ambience, camera perspectives, characters, facial expressions and gestures are also described concisely, precisely and vividly. The sight of an airplane casts a shadow on the ground. The hero, in a fedora and coat, stands with his back to the plane. A figure steps out of the shadows. SDH makes what's audible visible for hearing-impaired film enthusiasts. They are created with specialized software. All relevant acoustic information must be described. This includes the dialogue text, the assignment of dialogue to the speakers, sounds and music. Precise timing and optimal readability are key. First of all, who's responsible? The production companies are primarily responsible for the creation of accessible versions. But they are also commissioned by TV stations, streaming platforms, and film distribution companies. In Germany, if a film receives federal funding, an accessible version is mandatory. If public broadcasters are involved in the production, an accessible version is generally created. Second, when? Like the direction, camera and lighting, creation of the accessible version is a unique artistic craft and falls within the scope of post-production. To prepare it, the creator needs the final version of the film, with all the text panels and subtitles if the dialogue is in a different language. It is important to consider the accessible version right from the start and to include it in the financing plan. Third, how is the accessible version created? As a rule, film producers commission providers who specialize in the creation of accessible versions. It is vitally important that they work with qualified writers, who can be found through Hörfilm e.V., the Audio Describers Film Association, and the Association of Audiovisual Translators AVU. Trained people with visual impairments should also be involved in creating audio descriptions. Finally, the AD and SDH are approved by editors. The finished AD script is taken to the recording studio. The audio description text is spoken during pauses in the dialogue. This, as well as voiceovers of foreign language dialogue, should always be done by professional speakers. The recordings are then mixed with the other audio tracks. 3 weeks should be scheduled for the creation of an accessible version, and projects should be announced at least a month in advance. On public broadcasting stations, AD can be heard via 2-channel audio and the SDH are controlled by teletext. With media libraries and streaming services, the target groups can use a filter to find the required version. The DCPs that are delivered to cinemas usually contain the AD and SDH. However, only a handful of theaters are technically equipped for the target audience to access the desired version. Actual access to the accessible film version only really works via an app that is independent of the cinema. The distributor usually commissions the provision of such an app. Now your film is ready and can really be experienced by all. Article 30 of the UN Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities ensures that persons with disabilities may participate in cultural life, explicitly including access to films.
The runway, the figure with Joker makeup to the hero.
I'm gonna make you an offer you can't refuse.
The hero turns to the Joker and takes his lollipop out of his mouth.
You're talking to me?
Running feet in black shoes. The Joker, pistol in hand, looks to the side. The hero pushes his gun down. The redhead leaps up and kicks the Joker's neck with her black shoe. His eyes bulge out. The pistol flies up. Red-haired, Lola lands in a squat. The hero?
Here's looking at you, kid.
Lola looks up
I'm no kid.
and stands up.
I am ready to fly.
She casually catches the gun.
Right through the sky.
The hero points to the plane.
The machine is ready to go.
Lola turns her back to him, climbs onto a bicycle and rides off. The hero runs after her, jumps onto the bike rack and puts his arms around her waist. The bike lifts off. Lola spreads her arms.
I'm the queen of the world!
There's a big full moon in the night sky. Lola and the hero fly past it like a silhouette. Her hair and his coat flutter in the wind.
You can find an updated guide on the subject of accessible film versions at kinoblendgänger.com. By the way, as of January 2023, all films released in Brazilian cinemas must be accessible and include sign language. That's commendable, and Brazil shouldn't remain the exception. Yes.